You got one of my flyers?
I did, yes.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah, that's my trophy first.
The front is what I want to do, and the back is a bunch of stuff I'm already done. That's not the same one.
But I'll take one to read all.
Go ahead, there'll be a test. Okay, appreciate your help. Yeah, it doesn't make any difference whether it doesn't make any difference at all. We're all Americans. So that's what I listen to. I'm not for sale. I'm not for sale.
All Americans.
We're just Americans. Right? That's what we are.
Unfortunately, I don't think the federal government believes that.
Well, they think in their terms of America, what they believe America should be.
So how are you? I think that's catching.
Well, we had the assistants league in here till 11 o'clock. And so we had to get cleaned up and get everything set up for you guys.
Is there something going on here tonight that 912 is not using the facility?
Don't know.
I was just curious. They have a meeting that's in school tonight or something. They use yours on Fridays, I know that.
Yeah.
They used it last week.
Is this thing working? Oh, yes, it is.
Usually on Thursday nights, our Thursday nights are pretty booked up.
Oh, okay, that's probably why I thought. Because they're having a different type of meeting tonight.
Now, before all of you take the trouble and time to sit down,
On
can I
Friday nights now.
ask you please to stand for the pledge of allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. I want to thank you all for coming out here. Wonderful, wonderful weather. I guess it's just, it's Oregon, so we shouldn't complain. It could be worse, it could be snowing. The next thing that we're going to do is have the board meeting we did not have in April because I called out at about that time. I think we were supposed to be there somewhere around the 11th or the 12th. And when if you've ever met a certified public accountant on the 12th of April, you don't want to do it again because I think we're nuts. I'm sure they're not. Somewhere around either the 12th of March, if somebody would like to buy a CPA practice, walk in my office with $1 and I will hand them the keys. I don't know why I do this every year. In any event, we are going to have, I think it's Thursday, May 10th, if I read my calendar correctly, at 6 o'clock at the Guadalajara Restaurant, which is on South Pachyderm, across the parking lot from the Northern Lights Theater. We meet there at 6, and it would be nice if some of you people that are interested in politics, and also what else you would like to hear as speakers here at Pachyderm, or meetings, but we can do some things in the evening with some of these candidates too, to try to give them a voice and place. Come to the meeting, let us know, or send us an email and let us know, because we're here to find the things we want to have. And guessing, which is what we've had to do in the last couple of board meetings, is really kind of hard. We've been talking about some of the other people that are candidates here that we might want to have the speakers. For instance, Bruce Starr, who's running for Labor Commissioner, or Bueller, who I know is going around the state talking to people, and we have to get on the list if you want to listen to them. So these are things, emails work well. I'll eventually go back to my office next Tuesday. I don't want to go back to my office any sooner than that. I'll have to open the drawer and look at the ones that I've done that are on extension, and that's depressing. But let us know what you would like, and other people, just because I mentioned only 2, that doesn't mean that that's the extent of the number of people that can be speakers. Tonight, the 912 Project is meeting at Crosslet Middle School at 1155 Davis Road. I have absolutely no idea where that is. But they're having their meeting there at 6:30. Their speaker is Trevor Loudon. And he's the one that's written that book about Barack Obama, the enemy, and yes. Well, I suppose if you have a GPS, you can find it too. Which most people have, except me, because my truck's too old. What else? On April 24th, Americans for Prosperity will be listening to Kevin Starr, whom we had as a speaker here about 18 months ago when we were down at the Chamber of Commerce. Kevin is a very interesting speaker. He knows an awful lot about our rights as gun owners, and I'm a gun owner. I think that it's very important, especially for ladies that drive home late at night way out in the country. And when that pickup truck backs out in front of you, and the guys start pouring out of the back and running towards the front of your pickup truck, it is awfully nice to be able to reach over there and say, and they get back in their pickup truck. I know. Now, they have either that, I had called the sheriff's department, Marion County, the finding Marion County, and they said, we can get a deputy to you within 20 minutes, no matter where you are, provided there's one available. Doesn't that make you feel nice? You're sitting in the front seat of your vehicle and you're about to have these people start smashing your windows, but you know that if there's a deputy available, they'll be there in 20 minutes. Anyway, Kevin, whom I learned, is going to be one of their speakers. There's going to also, if I remember what I read correctly, have a thing that goes on about food, storage food, in case of emergency. Also, Kevin Cameron, who is now part of the campaign for presidency, and I can't remember exactly what his new title is, but for here in Oregon, for Mitt Romney, he's going to, this has nothing to do with it. Kevin Cameron will have a town hall meeting on Monday, April 23rd at 6:45 p.m. at the Marion County Fire Station number 1 out on Fordham Road. And I think the fire chief is supposed to be there too, but I didn't write that down. I'm just looking to see if there's food. And I want to remind all of you on Saturday mornings, we know that I Spy is going to be on KYK at 11 o'clock. And he's been stirring the pot for a long time, and I think he's done a good job of it. You'll find out all kinds of things that you never knew existed. So 14:30 on your AM radio dial on Saturdays at 11 o'clock. Listen to it. Now, as Luke's read, like the food is all out there, would you mind to leave the line so everybody can get it, and everybody follow Fred in more ways than one.
Oh, good for you. Okay, all right. Good, I'm glad to see you. I was stay over there. Yeah. So we were just. But we've never done it that way. You're not telling me I'm going to just drop dead. You're going to have to pay me a lot more. Pay the triple our wages. They can triple our wages. Yeah. 3 times 0 is 20.
Your first name was what again?
Jeff.
Jeff? Do you have a card, Jeff?
I don't.
Okay, Jeff, what's the last name?
Fisher.
Jeff Fisher. That's a good American name, Jeff.
Thank you.
Are you from Oregon or Salem or?
Yeah, I'm from Portland.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Where'd you go to school at?
PSU?
You did?
Yes.
Oh, good for you. And what's your political science, I would imagine?
Yeah. Communications, political science.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
great,
yeah,
great,
yeah,
great. When did you graduate?
In 2008.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Well, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
You're gonna keep track of everything he says so they can't go back on it.
Well, that's the idea. Keeping them honest.
Oh, okay, see the little lady right there on the end of the line there?
You mean Diane?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the treasurer, I'm supposed to pay you that.
Oh, oh, you're,
The big money, not the little money.
So basically, this is 14 plus 2 copies.
got it. I'm just trying to catch up. We had the Sisters League in here this morning,
Oh,
and they're here until 11 o'clock.
so then you have your work cut out for you.
anytime you want.
Oh no, I'm okay. I actually ate before I came. I'm just,
You are missing out on good food.
you know what? It smells delicious. I have
It
to
is.
say, it smells delicious.
This is the
Yeah.
only place we've ever been that the women have not complained about the food.
That's positive. Thank you.
Does anybody else feel the need for a statement?
You like a steak knife, sir?
Thank you, sir. Sometimes it's hard to choose. so you'll have video to post to say that you really did say this.
Yeah, it's just making sure that people stay consistent all the way through.
I mean, so they're not just saying that to get elected.
Right.
It looks like most of you have had a chance to at least get partly done with your lunch. I wanted to also tell you a little bit about the Pachyderm Club. We are not really affiliated formally with the Republican Party. We have not ever actually joined them. They have approved of us using their name and things like that, but that's about the extent of it. The Pachyderms are a nationwide organization. There's chapters in many different states. Started in St. Louis, Missouri. The Limbaugh family, interestingly enough, was part of the start of the original Pachyderm Club. And it's spread, it shrinks, it grows. Right now we have only 3 people on the board. That's why I need some more help. We also need people to join the club. Why should you join the club? Because we need money from your membership. That's why. And it also gives you an opportunity to hold an office. That's why. And it also gives you an opportunity to vote for somebody who would like to hold an office. And we need to keep moving with this because over the years, we have been the door for an awful lot of people to come into politics, to be able to come to our meetings without having if you come more than 3 times, you gotta join, or some other regulation, you can come as many times as you wanted. As I was talking to some people at the door, that's how Wayne Brady got involved in politics. He started coming to our meetings, and then he finally became a member, and then he finally was on the board. I think his first board job was he agreed to be our treasurer. And over the years, he just moved on up within political stuff until he became the guy that you knew, and this probably if you knew him. But that's where people come in, is something like this, which is non-threatening and non-biting, and they can come and bring their friends and listen to the speaker. So there are membership applications out there. You do have to, our own rule, and that's an in-house, in-organization rule, is you must be registered to vote as a Republican to be a member of the Pachyderms. Other than that, you're probably going to be approved. And we really do need either dues or donations from some of you if we're going to be able to stay on the air, on the radio. Fortunately, Mr. Wong has been very kind to us about doing a whole lot of advertising for us in his columns that appear in the Sunday paper. Anyway, so much for that. I think probably everybody in this room already knows Fred Thompson. I hope so. And I hope before you're going to listen to everything he has to say, ask him questions you think they're going to throw at him, and when you leave with a contribution envelope. The only way he is going to get around for Trader is to be able to have some money to advertise. Trader has how many million? I don't remember. Somebody said it on the radio and I don't recall. I don't think Fred has that many dollars in his kitty. No. So why don't you come up here, Fred, and tell them how different things are going to be when you replace Trader.
Well, thank you, Diane, I appreciate it, and this is a group that I've been around a long time, for a couple of years now. I'm certainly a pleasure to be here. I just last week got endorsed by the Statesman Journal, which I'm very thrilled about getting that, because I think that they did an interview, and it's on the YouTube between me and my competitor on the Republican side. It's 50 minutes long, and I think you'll learn a lot if I just pay a little bit of attention to that and sit down with a cup of coffee and listen to the questions and the answers. Now, yesterday I got endorsed by the Oregonian, so I'm thrilled about that, because I spent about 40 minutes on the phone with the reporter, and we had a good time, actually, to be honest with you. He asked all the good questions, and I gave him, I tell people all the time, you can ask any question you want, I'll give you the answer that I want. And then I did that, and we had some fun, and we was laughing, so we had a good time. So I'm pleased to receive both of those endorsements. In the back, we have Jeff Fisher. He's with the Democratic Party. He's here following me around. He's following all the candidates, I believe, and doing a good job. They pay him, so I want him to do a good job, and hopefully I don't say anything too bad. But if I do, it is what it is, Jeff, So do a good job, though, because when you pay, you always got to do your best. And thank you for coming today. Now, my flyer here is something that I wrote. I think you've all seen it. If you haven't, there are certainly flyers up here. The front is what I want to do. Okay, I pretty articulate that with 7 bullet points. And the back is a bunch of stuff that I've already done. Not everything that I've done, but some of the highlights is, of course, I was a Vietnam vet, 101st Airborne, in an assault helicopter company where I just went in the Army as 18 years old and came out at 21. It was quite an adventure, one I don't want to repeat, but as I certainly learned a lot. I learned a lot about what it is to be a patriot, to be an American, to give up your constitutional rights, because you do that when you're in the military. You don't have freedom of speech. You do really understand the Second Amendment, though, because they teach you that pretty well. The other thing is that, when I was in Vietnam, and one of the things that you really find out about yourself is when you write that letter to your parents, the last letter that you'll ever give to your parents. And, we all had to do that. And one of my jobs in Vietnam was graves and registration. So when our unit was we were classified for 30 years, admissions were classified, and so I had to go, when somebody lost their life, I'd go gather their stuff, and the first thing I'd do is look for that letter, and then I'd inventory their things, and I would put it in a foot locker and send it home to their mother or their wife. That was a very tough job to do, and I usually would do that around midnight at night. I'd take it into the hooch and lock the doors and lay out a big blanket and lay out all their stuff and pack it in a foot locker, and knowing that this was the last thing that the parents would ever see. I'd hang on the letter for a couple days before I would mail it, because what the Army would do is they'd find a local chaplain, whatever religion they were. On your dog tags, it usually said what religion you were. And the military would go find find a priest or chaplain or rabbi. And then they would go and tell the parents that they, or the loved ones that they had just lost their son. So I didn't want the letter to get there before the military got there and make that death known. I also am very proud that I helped establish in my career the 7th largest woman-owned manufacturing business in the United States, in Georgia. So to me, there's nothing about gender. I don't judge anybody by the color of their skin or their religion or their gender or what party they belong to. All I care about is that you're an American. I also took on the EPA and building the manufacturing project. That's what this picture is down here, where the EPA said that we could not build this manufacturing plant because of the air permitting requirements. We proved them wrong. It took a while to prove them wrong, but we did it, and today there's a number of people that are working there, and it happened to be one of the highest ROI, return on investment, facilities Georgia Pacific had, because we just stayed to our mission. We stayed stuck to our guns. I hired an engineering company from Eugene, Oregon State grads, and they came out there and we did it. EPA said it couldn't be done, and we did it. I also had the opportunity to work in Canada, in Winnipeg, Manitoba, where we took $160 million and converted it into a manufacturing plant, where we took wheat straw, and we made particle board out of it for the furniture industry. Now, you talk about green products today, you kind of get any greener than you take wheat stubble and you bring it in and you make it into a product that you can laminate and make tables like you have here. That was quite a product or process, because all wheat straw comes ripe at the very same minute, and we had to get like 400,000 bales that each weighed about 1,200 pounds. And we had to pick them up. So logistics was just like an army. It was just like an army that you had to go out there and bale these straw